Okay guys, so it's time for a little hive talk. And what I wanted to kind of discuss a little bit today is what is a hot hive? Now, when we talk about bees and we talk about their genetics, we talk about, all of that, kind of plays into effect as to what is a hot hive. So I'll give you an example. So I have a hive right now that she just got back from her mating flight probably, I don't know, about 3-4 weeks ago. And so far, the hive and stuff like that, up until this new line of bees, or this new queen, has been relatively gentle. She's not been really breeding angry bees or anything like that. But and it's not like a hive that is queenless. So she got back, and my first inspection went okay. I thought, okay, she just got back, her pheromones and stuff like that probably haven't built up yet inside the hive. So I kind of get it if they're a little bit, agitated. The other thing is, by my second inspection, which I did today, I literally popped the first super off of that hive and they all came out at me. They were not happy to see me. And yes, I did get stung. They caught me right on the hip, of all places. But anyways, so I'm starting to kind of think that this hive, she has went off and bred with some other drone, or drones or whatever, and she's come back, and I don't know exactly what's going on inside the hive, whether it's her pheromones or what. She's laying great. She's got a good brood pattern, but she is just really, really angry. The whole hive is. So, the previous queen and stuff like that was not like that. The hive was pretty gentle, for the most part. They came through winter really good. But I'm thinking that at this point, it's kind of like, what do you do? So what do you do if you have a hot hive? So it's one of two things. Either A, you can pull some brood out of another hive, one that you've got in your apiary that's a little bit more gentle. That's really kind of taking a gamble, because when you do that, you squish the queen that's already in there, and you sort of just go off of a wing and a prayer that they're gonna make off of the eggs that you just put in there. So, and keep in mind, all the brood that she has already laid in there, that's her genetics. So the other option, which is the option I'm going to be doing here soon, is just simply purchasing another queen. I'll probably go with like a carnelian stock or something along those lines, just for the honey production and everything else. Plus, all my carnelians, they made it through winter great. The one Italian hive that I had, that was a hive that died. And I do have Russians now, so I could throw in purchase a Russian queen and throw that into the mix. But anyways, so now it's sort of like, well, dang, because I just kind of got this hive set up, and they were really good to go. And she got back from her mating flight, and all was great. So I'm just gonna end up having to squish her and introduce a new queen into the hive. I hate doing that. Kind of like to be self-sufficient, but this is one of those points where I'm kind of like, well, it's probably just best to purchase another queen. But anyways, other thing I want to kind of talk to you about, and I'll be making a video of introducing that queen and stuff like that here pretty soon once I purchase her and get her in. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is, what do you do if your queen doesn't come back? Where do you go from there? So I believe in sort of producing stock that is in your area. Part of the reason for that is, number one, the climate. You know, most of those bees they're surviving in that area are going to kind of be acclimated to that climate. So what happens if your queen doesn't make it back? So I had 2 hives this year that I made a split out of both of them and left the mother hive to make a new queen. Now, whenever I did that, it takes 16 days from the time that the egg is laid to the emergence of the queen. Whenever they, you know, start making that, start forming it into a cup and forming it on out. Now, one thing that we did have, and this was kind of spring, so this was really like a post-solstice kind of queen. And there was a lot of rain and storms and everything else that kind of came rolling through. We would have days where it would be totally fine, nice and sunny like it is right now, and then come later on this evening, it's like bam, we got hit with storms. So those 2 queens just did not make it back to the hive. You know, I hate that whenever that happens, but the biggest thing, don't panic. You can do one of 2 things. Either A, purchase yourself another queen, go and pick her up, put her in the hive, wait a few days, see if she's out and laying around. What I did, and what I would like to do, is give them brood from a different hive. So when they started making their whole queen and stuff like that, and you know, from the time that I made that split, I waited 1 month. I didn't even touch the hive, didn't even go into it, nothing like that. You know, got in there, the queen cells and stuff like that were already chewed through. You know, everything was looking good, and got to looking around and noticed I don't have any eggs. And there's no larvae, there's no nothing. So I literally searched the hive from top to bottom, supers and all, looking for the queen. Couldn't find her. So what I ended up doing was, I've actually got one hive that they did a really good job coming out of winter, and they have not even the first sign of swarming. So I pulled about 3 frames out of that hive, along with some nurse bees, and stuck them into that other hive. Now, some may say, don't mix bees from one hive to the other. It was just one frame that I put over in there, just because of the simple fact that they've got brood in there now, and they need to work that. Otherwise I wouldn't do that. But anyways, I also pulled some emerging brood out and stuck it in that hive, just to kind of help buffer their numbers just a little bit. Because while they're going through and they're making this new queen, there's no eggs. So it's going to be another month before I even have a queen and she starts laying. So their numbers are going to drop. So I went through and did all that, and hopefully, fingers crossed, she's going to be getting back and she'll make it back to the hive. No big deal, and we'll be well within our way coming out of summer. So I did pull a little bit of honey, about a couple of days ago, and wasn't too excited about the moisture content. I was able to get it down, thank God. But I'm actually just gonna wait until the end of summer and everything's done. I'll harvest one time and then that's it. You can kind of see a little bit behind me some of the hives, and some of them have 4 and 5 supers on them on a single deep. So I'm going to be getting a lot of pounds of honey this year, but I'll be pulling all of that at the end of summer. We can kind of go from there. But anyways, yeah, it's a little bit about the queen issue that I've been dealing with here lately. But yeah, as always, guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. And I'm going to be doing a couple more videos actually in the apiary, and so keep an eye out for those. Going to be doing like some beginner beekeeping kind of stuff, just some of the stuff that I've learned as my, as the first year of my beekeeping career, and what I learned and everything else. So be sure to keep an eye out for that, and we will catch you guys again in the next one. Thanks.